I work for a privately funded geological research company called Seismotech. It's been around for 15 years or better, but it's been overshadowed by Orbital Sciences Corp., Blue Origin, Tesla, and other such private research companies, even though the projects currently being funded by Seismotech are equally as groundbreaking. Simply put, according to the other companies, making front-page news on a regular basis, Seismotech is going the wrong direction. While there's a lot of attention and curiosity towards space exploration, Seismotech's philosophy is that our resources are better spent exploring and understanding the planet we call home. A few years back, we made headlines in a few magazines by breaking the record for the lowest depth of a manned submarine, and that was the closest we ever got to any sort of limelight, and it was short-lived, because aside from breaking the record, the manned vessel found very little outside of what we already knew. No giant squid or sea monster lurking in the depths of the Mariana Trench. Mostly just excruciating water pressure, darkness, and a handful of very confused deep-water fish. This morning, however, I have made a discovery that will not only put us on the front page, but will also inevitably change the course of human events. I haven't shared this with my superiors yet, because I know what they're going to do. They will take it to their superiors and so forth, and that will be the last I hear of it. I'll find myself sworn to secrecy, then killed for good measure to keep this discovery from getting out. I can't say I blame them. Mankind may not be ready for this kind of discovery. But even so, I have to say something to get the truth out there, to warn those who will listen. Let me explain first what I do. Years before I was hired on, and for years afterwards, Seismotech had been working on drilling small but excessively deep holes into the Earth. Half the reason the manned submission got approved was because they wanted to utilise that project to drill one of these holes. They take years to dig, and more money than I'm authorised to know. But what we gather is often worth the cost and time. Soil samples, mineral deposits, dinosaur bones are all found and collected by the drill, then sent back up for analysis. I think Seismotech may own a private mining company that capitalises on some of those mineral deposits, but nobody will confirm nor deny my suspicion. My job is to monitor the seismic pulses generated by the drills. By sending specific seismic vibrations into the Earth, we can learn a lot about what's under there. Aside from the aforementioned more lucrative discoveries, we also learn more about what's actually beneath the Earth's crust. Essentially, these vibrations travel through different materials in different ways. Knowing this is how we were able to determine the theory of the Earth's composition down to the core. What we didn't have before, though, were enough seismic emitters and receivers to paint a clear picture. If you look through a stationary telescope at a tree, you may only see bark. Therefore, you can use your reasoning to determine that you're looking at a tree. Might even be able to tell what kind of tree, if you're knowledgeable enough. But the more information you guess at, age, size, location, the further risk you run of being wrong. If you have a whole bunch of these telescopes, all placed around the tree, you can tell quite a bit more. The drills are our telescopes. As I've said, we've been drilling for quite a while, and with the exception of a few, we haven't gotten deep enough to tell what exactly was below the ground you walk on down to the core. Until today. There was a huge budget allocated to the project several years ago, and we used almost all of it to fund more drills or locations all across the globe. A few drills went faster than others, and the picture they painted was a little unusual, so I'd been closely monitoring the progress of the other drills. I desperately wanted to see what it was the other drills were picking up, because I was absolutely certain it wasn't the simple core mantle cross composition they teach in science class. This was different. Today, at 6:47 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, alone at my desk with a half pot of coffee left, the picture came into full view. I checked it a dozen times. Surely something had to be wrong, or someone had to be messing with me. But the math was solid. The readouts were accurate. Below the surface of the Earth, coiled in the fetal position, lies an embryo. The Earth, you see, isn't a rock floating in space at all. It's an egg. And I think it's ready to hatch.